So, if you like the How to Train Your Dragons animated movie, you'll actually probably really enjoy the live action version. So, some of the scenes for the animated version were shot with someone who did live action choreography. So, a lot of the fight sequences actually feel like they just went, that worked really well. Let's just put people in. That's a cool background. Let's put them in a physical environment. There's a few tweaks here and there. They added a couple extra lines of dialogue. So I know people were like, well, they did a race swap of Astrid, but they actually do very early on. It's like, oh, this isn't just a group of Vikings, like one, yeah, I guess probably say one like group. It's a bunch of individual groups that are the best dragon hunters that all gotten together. So when they show, people who don't look very Nordic, like, oh, well, you came from here and you came from here. And it's like, oh, that's a really good way of just kind of going, we're not just Vikings, we are the best Viking hunters, best dragon hunters that are Vikings from around the world. And they nailed some things we really needed to nail. Hiccup and Toothless. Wow, that was fantastic. I love the fact that Toothless feels like the coolest version of a dog ever. Flying and fire breathing. Hiccup, you could tell he watched it and went, I like this character, I can do this. Hiccup and Astrid, again, really actually had some actual chemistry, which is really weird because and lots of live action remakes, your two main leads don't. They gave a little bit more to each of the other side characters too. Just a few extra lines of dialogue here and there that to kind of flesh them out just a little bit. Gerard Butler's Stoic was fantastic. I saw an interview he did. He was like, I feel like a Viking. I look like a Viking. I'm on a Viking ship like a Viking. I have an axe like a Viking. And I was like, you could tell that he loved physically doing the role for it, which was great. When people are enjoying what it is that they're doing, it shows on the screen. And it's like, this is how you do a live action remake, not a reimagining. You take what's there and kind of go, okay, do I do shot for shot? No, what if we just throw in a few extra little things here and there? It's kind of like a George Lucas special edition, just not as off-putting. Take what's there, take the meat of the story, add a few little pieces here and there. Why? Because if the animated version did well and it made money, crazy thing. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. The problem is people who think things are broken when they're not and then try to fix them. They don't do that with this. This very much feels like someone who liked the original. It's the same person who worked on the original. Even when they did some of the changes in the music, you can tell it felt very much like How to Train Your Dragon, like animated music. But you can tell there's a few extra little spots here and there. Why? Because if a scene isn't perfect shot for shot redo, you're going to need to tweak the composer notes. You're going to tweak the background music to it. It's like, oh, well, this scene now takes 8 more seconds. Okay, well, I can't use the same music because it wouldn't match. So I'm going to throw in a few more notes here and I'm going to change some pacing a little bit. This is really minor things, but it worked really well. When it's time for those big, like orchestral swells that go along with the action on the screen, they hit them. And I was like, this was really, really well done. It's going to make a ton of money. It deserves to. If you liked the animated versions, this is definitely worth seeing in just seeing people in the roles of the human characters. And some of the special effects, there's sometimes you kind of go, didn't feel as good as a lot of the other shots. That's just one of those things where so much of it is done incredibly well. Those few things you're kind of like, really kind of feels like that they're not, that not all 3 components are physically meshed at the same time. But it's such a minor nitpick with so much of it being done so incredibly well.